In addition, yeah, that's it. Creators cannot monetize on TikTok.
So, fake news pala yung mga nagko-content na may nakukuha silang monetization. You look at your TikTok, check mo yun kasi fake yun eh.
In the Philippines, Mr. Chair, creators cannot monetize on TikTok.
Pero kung nasa ibang bansa,
I don't have visibility on that, Mr. Chair. Apologies because I focus on the Philippine market. But if you need additional information, we're happy to supply it, Mr. Chair.
yes, kasi isa rin itong fake news, Mr. Chair, kung talagang totoo yung sinasabi niya or di pa niya alam kung merong mga in other countries aside from the Philippines ay merong nag-monetize kasi may mga Filipino content creator na nasa ibang bansa. So baka yun, can you check on that?
Yes, Mr. Chair, we're happy to do that. Thank you.
Okay, next, sa COMELEC, Mr. Chair, sayang wala dito talaga yung Facebook eh. Kasi nag-ano po ako, Mr. Chair, nag-submit ako sa COMELEC ng using AI, deepfake, na-receive naman ng COMELEC na. So siguro nakita nyo na yon. So, any update po? Sabi nyo kasi meron kayong coordination with other social media. Kasi Facebook po yun. Yung gumawa po nun ay merong account name na Makabayan. So, any update po, Mr. Chair, on that?
Magandang umaga po, Mr. Chair, Your Honors. Maraming salamat po for the kind submission, Your Honor. Naghingi po kami ng tulong sa CICC kasi noong nakarang araw lang po, we were thankfully capacitated by the CICC with deepfake identification tools. Naipadala na rin po namin ito dun sa concerned platform at nagpapatulong po kami para po malaman at ma-identify, hindi lamang po mapruebahan na talagang deepfake po siya, kundi matrace po kung saan po nanggaling. It's currently being investigated po by the Task Force KKK, Your Honor.
So, basically, Mr. Chair, red tagging yon, no? Yung lahat naman, basta Makabayan, red tag talaga. At nakita yung mga complaint na na-receive niyo po, parang 63% ay mga red tagging. So, parang instead na, Mr. Chair, napansin natin, instead na mabawasan, no, yung mga ganyang fake red tagging, based on your resolution, Mr. Chair, parang dumarami pa po. So, ibig sabihin po, hindi po natin siya nakokontrol or kung meron lang mag-complaint. So, paano po kayo paano nag-work yung inyong resolution po against doon sa mga red tagging?
Mr. Chair, Your Honors, Your Honors is speaking about Resolution 1115, the anti-discrimination and the anti-bullying resolution. Yes po, the thrust of the resolution po kasi is that when somebody complains for an act of bullying pertaining to the gender, for being a persons with disability, regarding HIV and AIDS, violation of the Safe Spaces Act, for being in the indigenous peoples, we really welcome po the complaint. And the thrust of that resolution, first, is it's with this use of social media. It will be reported to the appropriate platform for the immediate takedown and investigation if there was indeed a violation of the law. Kung makikita po rin kasi natin resolution, COMELEC treated the violation of the resolution both as an election offense and a ground for disqualification in case the bad actor po is running for public office. Second po, we would refer also these matters, especially to dig deeper into investigation po dun sa appropriate law enforcement body. Kaya po makakaasa po kayo yung pag meron pong complaints na natatanggap ang COMELEC, especially regarding Resolution 1115 and the other resolutions pertaining to campaigns and other matters of the Fair Elections Act, ito po yung nagiging action ng COMELEC regarding this po.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. So, including ba dito yung mga political belief, halimbawa, kasama doon sa anti-discrimination?
No po, not necessarily, Your Honors, Mr. Chair. Specifically, that's why in the first resolution of COMELEC governing the use of AI, prohibition on the fake news and disinformation, yan po yung resolution 11064. And in order to clarify na hindi po kasama yung protected yung ating free speech, freedom of expression, yung pag-express ng advocacy, naglabas po ang COMELEC ng amended resolution 11064A to ensure na yung protected rights under our constitution ay masigundahan at masundan po ng ating COMELEC rules.
Okay, so marami pong darating sa inyo na complaint, Mr. Chair, sa COMELEC. Kasi sa pag-iikot talaga namin, nakaranas din kami ng harassment, intimidation, red tagging, related dun sa pagkakampanya po ng Makabayan. So, Mr. Chair, naranasan namin yan sa Palawan. So, yun po, Mr. Chair. So, sana po, meron ding gawin siguro na, so, ilan po ba meron po ba kayong committee na nag-address ng mga complaint about that po, or related po dun sa resolution ninyo po?
Yes, Mr. Chair, Your Honors, the committee is the Committee on Safe. It is being headed by Commissioner Ernesto Ferdinand P. Macede Jr. Kaya makakaasa po kayo na talagang tututukan po ni Commissioner Macede at ng kanyang committee yung mga paglabag sa Resolution 1115.
Yes, siyempre, yung ginagawa natin, Mr. Chair, di ba, in aid of legislation, hindi naman para i-curtail yung freedom of speech ng ating mga vloggers or ng ating mga citizen. So gusto lang natin na talagang ang lumalabas sa mga social media platform ay yung totoo rin. Kasi worried tayo yung paulit-ulit na nakikita ng mga bata kasi ang dami nang nanonood o nang gumagamit ng social media. Nakikita nila yun na paulit-ulit na mali o paulit-ulit na pinopost, ang daming post, ay kala nila ay totoo. Kaya nga nandito yung yung DICT rin, Mr. Chair, para malaman din natin ano po ba din yung ginagawa ninyo, Mr. Chair, doon sa DICT as regards dito sa mga fake news at saka dito sa mga disinformation.
Good afternoon po, Mr. Chair. Sa DICT po, sa part po namin, we have coordinations with Facebook, TikTok, and then YouTube. Meron po tayong MOA with them. May mga request po sa amin na ipapa-take down yung mga certain post. Kinikater po namin yon through doon sa amin po. Sinesend namin yung mga materials to support na gusto natin ipa-take down. At the same time po, meron din kaming tinatawag na threat monitoring. So ito po, sa side po ng Cybersecurity Bureau, nagkakandak po kami ng monitoring but hindi po namin tinitake down kaagad unless wala pong nagko-complain sa amin. If meron pong cyber crime, pwede pong maging cybercrime yung nirereklamo, ini-endorse po namin yun through PNP, ACG o doon po sa CICC para po makakolek lahat ng information.
Mr. Chair, can we have a copy of that MOA with SOCMED na binanggit nyo kanina? Para makita natin yung scope ng MOA as regards to yung sinasabi nyo, mga fake news or mga disinformation. Can we have that copy?
Yes po, Mr. Chair. We can provide po the information. I will ask from our office po with those material po.
Mr. Chair, can we ask the Secretariat to get that MOA?
Comsec, please take note. Can we have a copy of that MOA?
Okay. Thank you po, Mr. Chair. So, yun na lang po kasi wala yung Facebook.
Thank you, Representative Castro. Next interpolator will be Representative Gerald Roman. You now have the floor.
Magandang hapon po, Mr. Chair. Magandang hapon po sa ating mga resource persons and to my dear colleagues. Today, we are holding the third meeting of the TRICOM and I'm very, very glad na yung mga inimbitahan natin sa mga nakaraang TRICOM na nung una ay nag-hesitate mag-attend, I finally have decided to come here. Today's exchange of ideas has been a very, very good eye-opener Namulat po sa ating mga mata thanks to the brilliant interpellation of our colleague, Representative Benny Abante, that sometimes the anonymity of a vlogger or his or her condition as a journalist or the use of the excuse of just expressing my opinion is being abused. And simply, we can draw the line by limiting ourselves to upholding the truth. What is verified, what is substantial, and what can be proven. Otherwise, it is simply a rumor. And spreading rumors that have dire consequences on national security and even shaping the opinion of the public is unacceptable. Alam niyo po, ako po, nagbabasa rin ako ng mga articles ni Ms. Crisette Laureta Chu. In fact, I remember way back in 2020, I participated in your very, very good campaign na maglikom po ng material for ating mga frontliners. Sabi ko, she must be a good woman. And sabi ko, she is also a journalist. Sabi ko, that's a magandang combination yon. Kaya nga lang ho, ako naniniwala rin ako after today's exchange and after your admission that hindi po nakabase sa katotohanan and you just reflected your opinions that maybe I think you will also agree that we want to level up itong pagko-content creation and that maybe and definitely this kind of content creation should not be tolerated and is unsustainable and is detrimental to our country, to the future generations. And we cannot keep a blind eye sa pangyayaring ito. We must put a stop to it. Naniniwala po ako na sa puso po ng mga content creators na gusto nila sa hanay nila mapabilang ang mga serious content creators. This is the reason why, Mr. Chair, since two TRICOM meetings ago, I have been pushing for self-regulation. Alam nyo, I have an MA in journalism from the University of the Basque Country, and for several years I practiced journalism. And I realize I'm fully aware of the importance of that basic constitutional right to freedom of expression. But just like any other constitutional right, this is not unlimited. It is the duty of the state always na bantayan ito how we exercise this constitutional right to protect public interest. And I'm fully aware also that in order to reconcile these two concepts, may I ask for a little silence? I'm being distracted.
Yes.
Mr. Chair.
Yes. Can we maintain decorum? Please remain silent when somebody is interpolating. Thank you. Please proceed.
I fully realize that in order for the state to exercise its function to protect public interest while responding and recognizing the basic right to freedom of expression, we always have to look for the least restrictive means. This is the scrutiny test that we as legislators should always apply. And this is the purpose why we in fact have this TRICOM. This is an investigation in aid of legislation. To give you a brief background, and later on I'll be asking some of our resource persons, including the guests who did not attend in previous committee hearings, what their opinion is. I will briefly detail to you what the Digital Council of the Philippines is. Basically, this is a council that hopefully among your ranks you will take the initiative to form. Similar to the Ad Standards Council of the Philippines, similar to the kapisanan ng mga broadcasters ng Pilipinas. Now, what is the purpose of this Digital Council of the Philippines. Among yourselves, you should come up with a code of conduct and standards and regulations na galing sa inyo, wag po galing sa amin. Dahil naniniwala ako na bilang mga manunulat, bilang content creators, you would want to uphold what is true. Not necessarily what is beautiful, because sometimes the truth hurts and sometimes the truth is ugly. We recognize that. And now, once you have your code of conduct and your code of ethics, what do? You apply it to your members. So, who will compose this Digital Council of the Philippines? Number one, associations of content creators. Number two, advertisers. Kasi alam ko, dyan sa mundo ng social media, marami po tayong advertising na gaganap at malaking pera rin po ang gumagalaw at umiikot dyan. Number three, we should also have the DICT. Kinakailangan din natin kahit paano may representation ang government. Dapat din po nandiyan ang the world of, the academe, so that we can also use this digital council to educate the people on critical thinking and responsible use of social media. Nariyan din po, maaari nating ilagay mga PR practitioners and what have you. So this Digital Council of the Philippines serves many purposes. As I said, education. Number two, I don't want to use the word self-policing, but how should I term it? Leveling up our own ranks, professionalization maybe. Aligay ko, it is to the interest of everybody para maging kagalang-galang naman ang sektor na ito. Sapagkat sa mahabang panahon, dahil nga sa pagdami ng mga irresponsible content creators, ay nasisiraan naman o nasisiraan ng pangalan yung mga seryoso. Okay. Now, the other purpose of this council, it could be the body kung saan maaari po tayong dumulog kung sakaling meron po tayong nahuhuli na fake news, kung tayo nabibiktima. Kung ako yung, for example, businessman na na-AI ang aking itsura at bigla na lang ako nagbebenta ng produkto ng aking rival. O kaya kung ako man ay yung, I don't know, aside from business owners, private individual whose reputation has been unfairly tarnished. Kung ako man ang politician, kung ako man yung vlogger din, na maaaring ginantihan at binigyan ng false information, maaari rin ako dumulog sa Digital Council of the Philippines. And of course, this Digital Council of the Philippines, hindi po namin yan ila-legislate sang-ayon sa, hindi namin kaya yan. Ang gusto ko po sana, manggaling rin sana sa hanay ng mga stakeholders. What we can legislate here from the committee is how the major social media platforms could respond once a piece of content is flagged as fake. After that fact-checking process na according to my consultations, kaya namang gampanan. You can do it in a few minutes. Diba? Sa TikTok, I'm sure other social media platforms could also do the same. And ang mangyayari po niyan, pag na-flag nga po yung content na yan as fake, then we can require by law that social media platforms to flag it also as fake news. Parang yung mga community notes, may annotation para man lamang mabigyan ng katarungan. I'm not going as far as saying that you have to take down that content, but although TikTok does that. Am I right? Mr. Chair, yeah.
Mr. Chair, yes. We take down content that contains harmful misinformation.
Yes. So at this point, Mr. Chair, after explaining briefly what my proposal is, which is also a response to the call made by Yusek Ruiz, may I begin to ask some of our resource persons about their opinions about this. I would like to ask Ms. Gazette Laureta Chu, whose opinion I also value. Ms. Laureta Chu, anong palagay niyo kung tayo ay magfo-form ng isang Digital Council of the Philippines, tapos kasama na rin dyan yung registry ng mga vloggers at content creators? Mr. Chair, maaari... Ay?
Go ahead.
Yes, please go ahead, Ms. Laureta Chu.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon. That's a very good idea as long as the parameters are clear. Like, for example, since what you want is to reduce the amount of fake news, we will have to come up with, it's a very good idea because then a lot of the people who have a massive following will also be accountable. But we just need to know what we consider massive following, how many people, kasi ma'am, ang problema dito, nabibili ang likes, nabibili ang following. So, posibleng, kunyari, sa Facebook nila, madaming likes, pero hindi naman totoong marami silang likes. Makikita niyo po sa engagement yon. If they have like 200,000 followers, but then they only have 3 people commenting, binili nila yon. So, ang dami pong problema doon kasi ma'am, when you're part of an organization, it gives you credibility. So when you do interviews, people will listen to you. Like congressman will give you time of day. Hindi nila alam na fake lang pala yung likes mo, fake lang pala yung engagement mo. So how do we delineate between real influencers and influencers who just bought their likes and engagement? So apart from that, ma'am,
Yes, Mr. Chair, actually what she has just expressed clearly proves that we have to set parameters and start having regulations. But the idea of having a registry of social media content creators, may I have your opinion? Because recently I have been bashed and accused of trying to exercise censorship and trying to curtail the basic freedom, this basic constitutional freedom to freedom of expression. What is your honest opinion on coming up with a registry of content creators? Hindi ko naman sabihin lahat kasi sapagkat sa Facebook, pag tinanong ko anong occupation mo, lahat nakasulat content creator. Siyempre, hindi naman po pwede yon. Siguro, katulad nga po ng sinabi ng ating resource person, dapat merong minimum number of followers or which we can decide later on. But I'd like to ask, ano po bang opinion ninyo tungkol doon sa the very idea of having a registry? Mr. Chair.
Yes, ma'am. It's a very good undertaking as long as what we regulate is an association of content creators who are outside of mainstream media so that they are also accountable. Pero yun lang ma'am, yung concern ko kung ilan ang magiging followers nila, kung totoo yung followers nila. And also, what about those who do not, is it going to be voluntary, or those who are not who do not volunteer to join, what kind of remedies para meron din sila accountability? Ang akin lang ma'am, and that's what we initially stood for, is that while we can do this for all of us, for everyone who wants to be a social media, nobody should be able to regulate free speech para wala tayong, because it's in our constitution. As long as what we regulate is the use of the platforms and the power and credibility given to all these people, as long as lalo na ma'am, government agencies. Kasi ngayon, it's going to be, what about next time? What about may mahanap tayo na presidente or senator na abusado or congressman and they will use it against all of us, or people here who are, like kunyari, this administration, you're in power, next administration, you're not in power, then they'll use it.
Mr. Chair, I think, yes, I would like to focus on what you just said and also remind you that this constitutional right is not absolute and not without limits. Meron ding parameters ngayon. And what we intend to do here is basically to flag the content. This is our way of administering justice to those who are victimized by fake news. Alam nyo, imposible naman na makontrol natin lahat ng content creators. There will be those who will not want to join this. So we have to be creative in thinking of means how to encourage them to join the ranks of serious content creators. May I proceed to another resource person, Mr. Chair? I would like to ask the Creators and Influencers Council of the Philippines, Mr. Mauricio? No.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Actually, I'm here on behalf of Donald Lim, who is part of the Creators and Influencers Council, but I myself am a trustee.
Yes. Mr. Chair, I would like to find out how many members does the Creators and Influencers Council of the Philippines have? more or less?
I apologize, Your Honor. I am not part of the
All right,
creators.
all right.
Okay.
Can you give me a rough idea? Is there like 1,000, for example?
Just to explain, our president in the Global AI Council Philippines, Donald Lim, is part of many organizations as an advocate, one of which is the Council of Creators and Influencers. So I myself am a trustee of the Global AI Council. My
Okay.
apologies. Yeah.
So Global AI Council, who are your members? May I find out?
We have a board of trustees. There are 5 of us. Our chairman is Brian Polio Manzares. Our president is Donald Lim. I am the treasurer. Our secretary is Mark Goriseta. And our executive director is Kat Salatoni.
What is the main function or objective of the Global AI
Well, the mother
Council?
company in the US is focused on governance and training. Our theme is AI for Good. And the United States headquarters, they do education. On the Philippines side, what we aim to do is partly ethics and governance and partly looking at a roadmap for the Philippines, coordinating with the public and private sector in order for us to use AI for development. Regarding the topic in particular, Mr. Chair, if I may continue. Yes, regarding the topic in particular, the AI here, we view it in the Global AI Council is that AI is used not for good, but for bots or fake news and all of those things. So we believe that if the problem is using AI not for good, then the solution mostly will also be AI to combat it. And that requires resources and knowledge in AI, and that's part of what we're trying to harness.
Yes. So what do you do specifically to combat the wrong use of AI? In particular, the generation of fake news.
Just as a correction, we are just a convener. So the combating of wrong use of AI, I think, is for the CICC under Yusek Alex Ramos, and we do coordinate with the ICT and CICC regarding that. What the Global AI Council does is to convene all stakeholders concerned in order to arrive at a roadmap or a solution. So we had the State of the Nation in AI last January. We're going to come up with a Philippine AI report and a Philippine ecosystem directory. But if I may, Mr. Chair, our experience in organizing for a short time a non-profit NGO for AI, I think translates to something that we can use for the Digital Council of the Philippines.
Mr. Chair, does the resource person agree with the idea of the formation of a Digital Council of the Philippines? First glance?
Mr. Chair, I not only agree, I think it is imperative that this has to be formed at the soonest possible time, because we all can see how the lack of framework where we can at least control the proliferation of misinformation, and it seems that our existing laws and systems are not enough to do that. So this kind of council is really needed yesterday. So we definitely espouse this, Mr. Chair.
In your view, Mr. Chair, how can we strike a balance between using AI to combat fake news and also the idea of the Digital Council of the Philippines and safeguarding rights such as the freedom of expression and privacy? Do you think these are two reconcilable concepts?
Yes, because in our history, we already have self-regulatory organizations that are doing that. As you have mentioned, Mr. Chair, the KBP and former ad board, which is now the ASC, and also, I would go to the extent of even our Philippine Stock Exchange is actually a self-regulatory organization. So, definitely, first, it has to be voluntary. Second, there has to be a trust mechanism, meaning if you comply with the criteria that is being set upon you, then you have some sort of, Better Business Bureau brand, no? And then there has to be an element of complaint reportorial system, wherein for those who do not voluntarily register and they actually violate some of these criteria, there is a mechanism for the damaged public or damaged parties to be able to complain. And if the members themselves who are having themselves part of the council, there is also a mechanism for complaint. No?
Mr. Chair, actually, one of the objectives of this Digital Council of the Philippines is to report fake news to the major social media platforms. So the final action would be taken actually by the social media platforms, and that would include also those who may not want to join the Digital Council of the Philippines if they are reported to have generated fake news. So I think that purpose is also met by the creation of this council. May I proceed, Mr. Chair, to the next resource person, who is from the CICP, or the Creators and Influencers Council of the Philippines, who, by the way, are going to hold their general meeting and their induction of officers this afternoon. Ms. Aye Ubaldo. Mr. Chair, may I proceed? Yes. Okay. So now I would like to find out, how many members does the CICP have?
Right now, we would have about 100. Of course, the goal is to have more.
Yes. How do you encourage content creators to join your ranks?
Okay. I'd like to also say that we categorize them. So if you're a content creator, which is a very, very vast...
Could you come closer to the mic? Thank you. Or pull
I'm
the
also
mic
very
closer.
short. So,
Sorry.
So we categorize them. So we have them as independents. We have them as brands. What we call clients. These are let's say the Nestle's, the Colgate-Palmolives. So they're called brands. And then we have agencies. So these are the advertising agencies that have departments, or they have sections that are for public relations, influencers, and
Okay.
creators.
Ms. Ubaldo, may I find out what was the reason why you formed the CICP?
Because we knew that it was going to be a growing industry, and there were already a lot of signs. As much as back in, let's say, the late 90s or early 2000s, we knew that the internet was really going to be big. And so when you do look at digital trends, you get to realize what are the next big thing. And we in the digital industry, or speaking as myself, as I come from a marketing communications background, so that's kind of what we need to do.
Yes. Responsible and is the responsible practice of content creation among your objectives in this group?
Specifically for CICP, definitely, but specifically for the industry that we're in, which is the marketing communications industry. For 50 years, we've been under self-regulation. Okay, and that's very sustainable. It's very agile. It's really needed to be.
Mr. Chair, do you have a code of conduct or code of ethics that you practice?
Yes. We have a mission and vision, and even the industry itself, yes.
And what do you do to members who do not comply with your code of conduct, Mr. Chair?
Mr. Chair, I'm sorry. Mr. Chair, as you've also mentioned, and as Anton has also mentioned, even if you are not part of the industry, let's say you're not a member, you are actually responsible to know what's going on and be able to be sanctioned and accept penalties. So it's just like the law. Even if you are ignorant of the law, you are committing a crime that you don't know. So I think that industries like ours and the proposed digital council, being self-regulating, can also impose upon those that are not members.
So may I know your opinion about the formation of a digital council in the Philippines?
Well, definitely,
I believe that it's a good idea. If you don't mind, Mr. Chair, if I can say something, I was really listening. This is the first time that I'm here in this kind of forum, and I was really listening to the previous speakers. And if I may say so, I find that there's really a lot of silos, a lot of people wanting to do the same thing. And the gentleman from the PCO said that there has to be collaboration with the justice system and the PCO. And then I heard another resource speaker from Davao, Mr. Mata, say something that there's a need to collaborate with the KBP. And the KBP is one of the founders of that Standards Council, of the regulating body, actually. So yes, I believe that creating a digital council can really tide us through all of these silos.
Yes, thank you very much for your opinion. I would also like to reiterate that ideally this Digital Council of the Philippines will be apolitical, impartial, which is one of the fears expressed by one of our resource persons. And I believe that it is possible because I believe also that there is strength in unity. This body could also be likened to a guild among content creators that will provide legal assistance, legal protection, and also guidance to its members. That said, Mr. Chair, I'd just like to sum up by saying that today has been a very big learning experience to us, and I would like to exhort, after having listened to Ms. Kiambao and Ms. Crisieta Retachu, and their self-realization that, we cannot just publish or write something on social media, especially knowing that we have a big following, without verifying first the facts. We cannot spread rumors nor speculations that potentially have dire consequences. And we're talking about national security or the stability of a government. Unless, of course, that is the reason why some people, some bloggers actually practice this, which is to destabilize, which is also to mislead people, to shape public opinion and put it at the service of political interest. Now, that for me would be a betrayal of, if you are a journalist, you're calling to uphold the truth. Because in a sense, we are manipulating other people, and simply, that cannot be tolerated for the good of our country. I believe that if you have the truth on your side, there is nothing to fear. And whether you're on the side of the government, on the opposition, of course, I have always believed, and it is freely practiced during this administration, your voices now are being allowed and heard under the Marcos administration. Take a look back during the previous administration. Could you hear critical voices? Could you hear voices of dissent? The ones who were brave enough to express their voices of dissent were imprisoned 7 years without a firm conviction, without due process. So, having these democratic freedoms guaranteed by the present administration, maybe it is also an invitational calling that lubos-lubosin na natin ang pagiging demokratiko. Lubos-lubosin na rin natin ang pagiging makatotohanan. If you are to criticize this government, please do it with facts on your hands. Hindi lang yung speculations, hindi lang yung rumors. Kasi that's being unfair, Mr. Chair. So with that, I submit to the committee also my proposal once more about the creation of the Digital Council of the Philippines. I sent a briefer to Secretary Ruiz, and this afternoon actually I'll be joining you at the CICP to encourage the stakeholders to take the initiative and form a Digital Council of the Philippines, and then we can work on the rules. But one thing I can guarantee, as a journalist myself, I understand where you're coming from, and I do respect that constitutional right to freedom of expression. But as a lawmaker, I'm fully aware that the state has a duty to regulate the exercise of this constitutional freedom by applying the least restrictive means. So, yun lang po, Mr. Chair, at nagpapasalamat ako sa oras na
Thank you,
binigay niyo
Mr.
sa
Chair.
akin.
Thank you, Representative Roman. Next interpolator will be Deputy Speaker. You have something to say? Please state your name.
Sir, my name is Crisette Chu, and thank you very much for allowing me to say what I want to say. This is just in relation to what Congresswoman Geraldine Roman said, that MG and I were we had issues about not about the mistakes that we said. Sir, right now, as I'm scrolling through Facebook, I just want to say that I'm also a victim of fake news, because it's on Facebook and on GMA that it says na I said sorry for saying mass resignation. I did not say mass resignation, sir. I said may mga nag-resign daw. The mass resignation was not on my end. So in the interest of everyone's protection, not just for social media, even for us, kasi we're also citizens of the Philippines, can you also correct? I never said mass resignation, but in your news it said that I admitted, I'm crying because I'm admitting na nagkamali ako sa mass resignation. I never said that, and my post is still up. So could you kindly also correct your news, GMA? Thank you, sir, for allowing me to say. I really appreciate
That is
this.
noted, but that is not our responsibility. That would be the responsibility who made the news. Anyway, okay na.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, you are recognized. No, she was the first one. Itong, yeah.
It's Crisette Chu, sir.